Hello and welcome to the Horn Dawgs podcast. I am I'm Jonathan Serderal, and this is Steve. Get him again, Big Hearn Hernandez. You always do mine.
Okay, hey, good to be here. That last dog thing I was doing was my master had died, and I was very sad. Did you hear that?
Steve has taken an acting class. Yeah.
Several.
Yes, and they're paying off beautifully. What if are you into acting? Do you want to act?
Yes, I love acting. I mean, not as much as you. You've got some very funny stories, but I do enjoy acting. I think it's very fun. I think it's very interesting. Jonathan took an acting class recently, and he said that he told me this story. This was months ago. And
he's about to throw me under the bus. Whatever is about to follow, take with gallons of salt.
Okay, so he goes up. The assignment was, Julia, you're gonna love this. Everybody does a monologue. The class watches. Jonathan's like, trash. Trash. The teacher's like, no. The teacher has all these notes for everyone, and then some of them are so bad. She's like, have you seen a movie before like that to the people? And they're like, yeah, I guess.
This is not what I said.
Jonathan goes up, does his monologue. The teacher looks him in the eye afterwards and says, no notes. Gorgeous. I think she actually might have said something like else that is even, look, he stopped talking because he knows it. This is what he told me. Did she say anything else besides no notes?
She said, tell us all about your process, my friend. But here's the thing.
Yes.
That monologue,
yes.
I had known very well in that play very well, and I had it down. I mean, I do have to say I did a fucking great job.
Yeah.
But doing a monologue is easy. The next class, you have to do a scene.
Yeah.
Tons of notes.
Sure.
Tons of notes. Because when you're actually in a scene, it was like the first class was the honeymoon, and after that, it was like you were definitely getting beaten up.
And that's acting,
And that's acting,
yeah,
bitch.
That's acting. When right when you think you got it, it grabs it. I'll never forget. This is great. I just love this. Have you seen Project Runway?
Of course.
Okay.
Designers.
Yeah. What's his name? It's not Kenneth Cole. Who's the guy who's like Kenneth Cole on the judge? Michael Kors.
Oh yeah, that queen.
I'll never forget this scene. I watched
the worst taste ever.
Of course, I've watched the first 5 seasons religiously. I think that's when I first started to think, I think I'm kind of gay or bi, because Christian Soriano I thought was so cute. I was like,
well, he's a lot like a woman.
I know, but I was just also like, I don't care that that's a man. I want it. I want him in my mouth. But dude, I'll never forget this one. This one designer, they had won, but last week they were on the bottom or something like that. And she won or something, and she was like, this is so hard. She's like, it's a roller coaster. Does it ever get any easier? And the camera pans to Michael Kors, and he goes, no. And he's tearing up. He's tearing up too. He's like, no, this is the life we've chosen for ourselves.
Yeah.
As artists.
As fashionistas. As artists, this is the life we've chosen. And an example of that is Jonathan and I did a show in Lake Arrowhead this past weekend. And Jonathan did great, and I did okay. Well, the thing is that you, and I hate to make excuses for you, but it is true. You had to go up. He was headlining. It was a mini headlining set. It was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And he had to go up after a very long show. But it was packed with people.
It was packed. It was a brewery show.
Yeah.
Brewery shows, if anybody's ever done them before, if you never know. If you go to Denver, the ones that pay that you headline are brewery shows. You get $150, $200 to do this brewery show. And the thing with the brewery show is breweries are not set up to do comedy shows in.
No.
So even with the people, and there was packed, and a lot of very cool people. I got a few messages the next day that were very kind.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to spend a lot of your energy just containing them, kind of roping them in, because their energy's just dispersing right away too. But
it was pretty simple for me. But Steve was having a lot of trouble, of course. No, I get what you're saying, and I got messages too.
Okay, good.
Saying die queer, go back to LA, you friggin' rainbow fruit.
I also do think I'm never bringing you to open for me again, because our comedy's a little too similar.
That's the other thing I was gonna say. Is I had already touched upon a lot of the same themes, and I had kind of mopped the floor with them. So then when I had wrung them dry.
I'm telling you, I'm not, and I had a fine set. Absolutely, I was not mad at myself after or anything like that. I did the best I could, but Jonathan really did have a great set. Go on, keep talking.
Yeah, it was just, it's hard when you are following someone who already talked about the same things, but you have to do it because you're running this in like a larger hour.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have like a gay guy opening for you talking about this all the time, so you have to run it.
Yeah.
But you got them. You just had to put in elbow grease to get them.
Yeah,
you know?
Sometimes you're up there, man, and it's fucking work. And I'm like...
The important thing is that you got them, because there are some people...
Yeah.
who don't ever get them, and they somehow seem okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, Julie and I talk about this all the time. There's comedians that are just okay.
No, they're not just okay. Let's be honest. They're not funny. They're not good at comedy.
Yeah.
They may be very nice people.
Yes.
Now, we're not talking about this show. We're talking about in general.
Yeah. We're not talking about that. But yeah, they're very nice people, and they'll do it for a decade, and they just keep doing barely okay is the best they've ever done. And here's the trick. Here's the thing. This is what I've talked about. Is that I think these are people like that have never come before. They're like women that have never had an org. No. That if they've never killed before, they don't know what they're missing. You know what I mean?
You're comparing. Yes. Okay, got it.
So if a woman's never had an orgasm, and then they go up there and there's like a couple of chuckles or something like that, and they're like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was good. You
Yeah.
know, the person's body was next to mine, and it's nice to feel close to someone.
The weight of a man.
Yeah, it's nice to have the weight of a man on me.
Yeah.
So this is nice. This is really nice. But they've just not been fucked properly. They don't know how to come. They certainly don't know how to make anybody else come.
They don't have that uncontrollable, like, like that type of thing, which is how I come.
Dude,
like a Muppet.
Funniest thing, Jonathan, we had a long conversation. He's gonna want to talk shit about my driving, but I've got stuff to say about this. But we had a long conversation there and back, hour and a half each way, and he said, I need to get. He was talking about I need to get hired at these gay clubs and as a bartender, and I was like, well, there's a lot of gay guys that I'm sure want to work at these places.
Yeah, but you don't know them.
Yeah, that's true. I was like,
your loyalty should be to me.
Yeah. But, I know you could do it, but he's like, yeah, they need to just hire me. I'm like, I'm sure every gay guy in Hollywood wants to work at these places. And he goes, he's like, you should see, though, when I walk in the club. This is a quote. You should see the hubbub that I cause when I walk into a club. The hubbub.
Excuse me. Yeah. What I said is, you should see the hubbub I cause when I walk into the club. Okay, that's what I said. So get it right. No, it's only specific places. Like if I'm in West Hollywood, no, I don't cause the hubbub unless it's with like the 50 and older crowd. It was the Eagle.
Okay, so the Eagle.
I just have a lot of good luck there.
Yeah.
A lot of good luck.
What kind of? Because there are kind of all different kinds of gay bars.
It's a hardcore leather fetish bar. 70s and 80s vintage porn playing everywhere. It's black. It's red light. It's raunchy. The bartenders will. This is no joke. The bartenders will sometimes, to up their tips, take off their jock straps or their thongs or whatever, take out their fully erect cock, which is in a cock ring. That's why it's erect, while they're working. Shake it around, and people will tip more. They have like fetish displays. It's a cool ass bar. It's a great bar.
When they shake their cock around, do they stand up on a stool and do it?
The bar is very open. It's a wraparound bar.
Okay.
So everyone can see them do it. But there is a stage, like they have like wet short contests where they like spray your shorts and it gloms on and everything. Yeah, they have all that. But it's a historic place.
I know. Okay, I just want to set this straight. When they shake their cock around like that,
you're really fixating on this.
Does it appear to be like that the music, whatever song's playing, because it's loud music, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
That the song is moving them to do this?
No.
No. I'm just saying, like, is there a part in the song where they're like, oh, I love this song, and they're like, gotta shake my cock around? Or, because I'm thinking of Coyote Ugly.
No, no one loves any songs. It's all like aggressive house music.
I know, but I'm just saying, I want the bartender to be moved to shake his cock around.
Guys don't need that. You know what moves them?
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah,
Money. Yeah. That's what moves them.
So do they do it coordinated?
No, it'll just be however they choose.
So you think they choose?
Absolutely.
They'll like say
they choose. No one's saying take your cock out right now, Anderson.
Okay.
I need your cock out on the floor right now, Anderson. If you don't get that big fucking cock out, we're dying out here.
They choose. That means they have the bartenders talk. They like get a little conversation together.
Yeah.
And someone's like 12:10. Ronnie, your cock's coming out.
Yeah, I love that about them. I've been there. I will sit on the wall. I'll wallflower it.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting for people to notice me.
Yeah.
And I'll just watch the bartenders, and they're so hot, and the barbacks are hot too. Yeah. And they all just like very free and sexual and hairy and tattooed, and it's cool. It's fucking cool.
So Jonathan says that when he walks into the Eagle.
Okay, you are making it seem.
I'm quoting.
You are not quoting me. You editorialize.
He said when he walks in that this is. Okay. I'm gonna even like.
When I have walked in the past certain times.
Yes.
Get that right. It's not like I walk in and I'm like Norm and everyone's like, no one, the bartenders don't know me there. So no one knows me there.
So I'm about to say what you told me.
Yes.
And you'll say that
I'm the mysterious stranger.
Has this happened 4 times?
More than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says he walks in and guys, a circle of guys will form around him. He says when he walks in, sometimes he'll get a beer and he'll just sit at a booth. Men will 5, 6 men clawing each other, pushing each other to the side. That they'll come to this and they'll talk to him, and they're just like making jokes and asking questions. You know, he's the young ingenue, sipping his beer, and he says if by the time he finishes his beer, one of those 5 or 6 guys doesn't interest him, leaves.
Yeah.
Walks out.
Yeah. You got to get in and get out while the getting's good. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you got to do. But also, here's the thing. The Eagle, this is probably a thing that happens to a lot of people. It's a very horny place. Yeah. I've seen some, like, straight women, because it's down the block from Akbar, come in with their gay friends, and they're like, whoop, whoop, gay guys, And they come in, and they are shocked. Literally, the first time I went there, actually, this is actually a great story. Yeah. The first time I went there, I was 23 years old.
Yeah.
I walk in. It is still daytime on a Sunday, which is their famous like beer bust.
Yeah.
I decide I want to make friends, so I go up to a group of daddies, right? Yeah. Hot daddies. They're standing in a circle. The hottest daddy reaches into my pants to see what I'm packing.
Yeah.
Then he takes his 2 middle fingers and puts them up my butt.
Yes.
While we're all standing in a circle, it is still daylight out.
Yeah.
There are still people probably at church and stuff like that.
Did you like that?
I kind of felt assaulted. But I was kind of frozen. I didn't know what would happen. And then his husband, this Middle Eastern guy who was very hot, took out his like beer can cock, and then this other like chubby guy around my age was standing next to him, and he took out his little dick that was in one of those cock cages, right? So I don't even know if that's how little it was, because those cock cages like smush it down. It's like painful.
Yeah.
And then he starts to suck off the Middle Eastern guy while this other guy has his like fingers up my butt, and then he takes his fingers at my butt like, and then he goes, "All right, go have fun," and he spanks me on the ass. And that's my first introduction to the Eagle. And that's not even the worst. Back. And I keep going back. I mean, the last time they had this like tent set up with a light in it, so you could see people go in and have sex, but you would just see their silhouettes happening. Yeah. This big, fat, chubby dude took out
chubby or fat?
No, fat.
Okay.
Fat.
Yeah.
He took out his huge cock. Everyone could see the silhouette of it. It was humongous. Yeah. Then this little like Twinkie gay guy went in. He was his boyfriend, and bent over and inhaled it into his mouth, and then he inhaled it into his mouth, and then he bent over and then just put it in his ass. And this was a massive cock. Like I was like, this guy, this is the cock he practices on, and everyone was just watching it happen.
I like when fat guys got big cocks. It seems like justice.
Yeah. And the Eagles, where I found out a lot of fat guys do.
Yeah.
You could, because they have a trough in the bathroom, so you can see what everyone's working with.
Have you ever seen Cruising?
Oh, with Al Pacino?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, we gotta watch it together. It's incredible.
That would actually be kind of fun if we
for Patreon.
Yeah.
Dude, Cruising is awesome. It's about Al Pacino. If you've never seen it, it's the guy who just died, right? William Friedkin did this movie.
Director of The Exorcist, my favorite film.
Yeah. I mean, William Friedkin's amazing.
Yeah.
R.I.P. He just passed away a couple months ago.
Rotting in hell.
Dude, so funny. Al Pacino goes undercover as a cop, goes undercover to the gay scene to catch this gay serial killer, and he goes to straight up leather bars.
I've seen the stills.
Yeah. And it's incredible because they're all wearing the handkerchiefs. It's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not this like soft gay thing. It's not Bravo, Andy Cohen, everyone's.
No.
It's fucking grimy, like leather. And there's a famous scene when we saw this, which I could watch this scene 1,000 times, where Al Pacino does, what is it called?
Poppers,
yeah. Does poppers, and then he just goes like, yeah! And he's like dancing on the dance floor like this, like, yeah, just going crazy, like, yes.
Which shows you that Al Pacino has never done poppers.
I mean,
that is not how you are on poppers.
I've only done poppers once, and
was it Alan Strickland Williams poppers at Silver Lake Lounge?
No, but it was with. I think Alan was there.
He's the only straight guy that I know is cool enough to have ever offered me a bottle of poppers. I was like, this pussy-eating guy is so cool. He just handed me a bottle of poppers. That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe people would do that out in public like that. I mean, I guess you're just getting crazy, but it's so funny. The first time I did poppers, I went over to my brother Danny's house. This is when he lived in Echo Park, and he was just like making glitter. This is before he's famous. Literally making like glitter in his kitchen for his major moonshine. And I was like, what are you doing? It was like a Monday night, Tuesday night. He's like, oh, I'm just making glitter. And he's like, I'm doing a little poppers. You want to do something? And I was like, sure. And he's like, just inhale it. If you guys don't know, it's like head cleaner,
it's
VCR
VHS cleaner. Yeah.
But yeah, he like, so you grab it like this and you inhale it like that. And I did it for a long time, and I felt a little lightheaded.
Yeah, it's supposed to give you this incredibly euphoric but very short, intense high.
So I felt like a little lightheaded. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, whatever. This is kind of cool.
Did your butthole feel open?
Listen, so at that point, I thought I had done poppers.
Okay.
When I actually did poppers, I went over to... I went over to one of our comedians' friends thing, and Alan was there. Alan won't mind that. I don't care. The other person might, although I don't think they'd mind either. But to pick up Julia like after work, it was this person's birthday party, so it's just them three and me, and they're all fucked up or whatever, and I'm just coming there. It's like 3 a.m. And they're like, you want to do some poppers? I was like, sure. And then the person hands me this huge like thing of poppers, and I was like, I've done poppers before, no big deal.
Yeah.
And I did it, and what Julia tells me, I said first thing I did, because I was, like, the next thing I know is I'm just laughing hysterically, but like almost blacked out, laughing hysterically. And Julia said the first thing that I said was, I've never done poppers.
Oh my God.
I've never done poppers.
Julia is cracking up right now, by the way.
Just laughing hysterically going, I've never done that before. Because then, you're high for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah. So you did a strong bottle. That's good.
Yeah, but it was like, that was crazy. But I can't imagine being out. Although I'm sure it's awesome. I'm just old now, and I don't like to be that fucked up.
Well, they're the best when you're already turned on.
Yeah.
Then you do them.
Yeah.
Then the high is incredible because you're already turned on.
Yes.
I mean, they're chemsex, It's the safest chemsex you could do.
What do you mean chemsex? What's
chemical sex.
Yeah.
So the other parts of chemsex are like meth, which I don't do because people just fall into a meth hole and they die,
Yeah.
There's so many people like just on meth.
Yes.
Gay guys just on meth.
Because you could fuck for like 3 days.
Yeah, but you don't get a hard on. That's the thing, but you're so horny. I'm like, it's a deal with the devil. It seems like,
That's like cocaine, too.
That's yeah, but cocaine, you're annoying. I feel like meth, you're scary.
Yeah,
which is so much hotter.
But the first time I did cocaine, like really like, I think I'd done a bump at some point, but the first time I did cocaine, I was with a coworker from TGI Fridays. I don't think he cares. Jonas was working the back bar, and he was like, hey, you want to do some cocaine tonight? And I was like, we were like going to get off around 9 or 10, it felt like. And I was like, sure, let's do some cocaine. And so we went back to my house, and we got some beer. and we were just like ripping lines. And dude, I was like, this is awesome. Just having fun. Me and Jonas just like talking, telling stories, drinking beers. I was like, this is incredible. And then this woman that I had been flirting at that also worked at those, she texted me and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, you should come over. She was like, and her and I have never hooked up, just a strong flirtation. And then I was like, she was my manager. So this was like very, and she's like, who's there? I was like, Jonas is there. And she's like, all right, is he cool? I was like, yeah, cool, come over. Real party girl, just drinking beers, but she's my manager. I didn't want to tell her I was doing cocaine. You know what I mean? Right. It's okay to be drinking beers. So we kept going to the bathroom, and I mean, I'm sure she knew. This is like a smart woman, but I didn't.
Or she's like, I bet they're sucking each other off.
I would go. We go to my bedroom at some point, and I mean, we've been flirting, all the sexual tension for months. We go to my bedroom at some point. We're making out.
Wait, is this you and Jonas or you and your manager?
Me and the manager.
Okay.
And we're having a great time. I'm like, she's so hot. I can't believe this is finally happening. This is so cool. She's on top, and I thought. At one point, I thought she was, like, avoiding my dick. Like, sometimes when you're having sex with a woman, like, she's just trying to keep her pussy away from you. And it's like, that's fine. You don't want to have sex right now. And I said, I told her that. Hey, if you don't want to have sex right now, it's okay. And she's like, no, I want to. And I was like, what? And I went down my head. I'm like, and I went down and I felt, and I was as limp as I've ever been in my life.
Because of the cocaine.
Yeah. And I was just like, this has never happened to me before.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I know.
This has never happened to me before.
I know. Oh, my God.
That's awful. Well, Molly can do the same thing. The same thing's happened to me and Molly. But you go back the next night. They open the door. Your erection's already there, ready. And you say, suck it.
No, when me and Bain used to get, when me and Richard Bain.
The great Richard Bain.
Yeah, I used to hook up. I'd come and I'd be drunk, and he'd come over. He's drunk and fucked up, and we'd do a Molly. We just like smothering our fat bodies against each other, and just trying to get each other hard. Sucking each other off.
Yeah.
And,
I feel bad that I never fucked Richard. I feel like he flirted with me enough where I was like, I could have if I wanted to, but I always had like a staunch like don't fuck people in show business thing, which I still don't unless you're
show business.
Unless you're part of IATSE, I'll fuck a crew member because I would really respect that. But if you're like in creative show business or you're an executive, I don't fuck you because I inherently don't respect you. No, it's because I don't want to burn any bridges or whatever.
Sure, that's very smart. I think I've learned that. I don't like this when comedians say I won't hook up with comedians. I think that's here's a caveat. I guess I do agree with that. I don't think you should fuck comedians. But if you want to date someone, you have strong chemistry, you get along well.
Sure, that may be
and
different.
You're making a conscious choice that says, okay, this is getting murky and we have to like talk. If things go south, we're going to have to fucking, but yes, I guess you shouldn't just fuck anyone, right?
Of course. But also I don't have that many options. Like you guys have a lot more options. I mean like straight people and like bi people who fuck a lot of, opposite sex people. I guess. Like, you guys have a lot of options in comedy. I mean, have you seen all the gay comics? They're like cretins. They're like creatures from the deep. Like they don't, they're not good options. And I'm not saying physically. We're all like mentally fucked up and broken. And so you only have like, if there's maybe in the country, I don't know, working 50 gay comics, only like 15 of them are funny. And then of those 15, they're all mentally ill.
And yes, I mean, the idea if you said you have these 15 people and you have to have chemistry and get along and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What are the chances of a random 15 people?
Yeah, and gay guys hate other gay guys. So it's very gay guys
all gay guys hate other
gay
gay
guys hate other gay guys.
And this is why there hasn't been a huge gay comic yet, you think?
That and also homophobia in the marketplace.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly that. But yeah, gay men like won't go and support other gay. Lesbians are way supportive. They're super fucking supportive.
No, Caleb Heron has a lesbian army.
if you go to his shows, staunch.
Not
lesbian.
surprising because lesbians nursed us when we were dying of AIDS. They were like, well, I guess someone's got to do it. And they went in, come here, little faggot. And then they nursed us when no one would touch us. Like lesbians always, in my heart, I have a lot of affection for them. You know, even though I never talk to them and really dislike it. No, I'm kidding. No, I think that gay men, we hate it ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? I know I do.
We'll be right back. And we're back with Horn Dogs. I
feel like mine was very realistic. That's John Candy dying. That's what that
was. What if? We saw the Taylor Swift movie.
How'd you like that shit?
Loved it.
God.
We bought tickets last November. So Julia had a job. Weren't even dreaming of having a kid. We had money. My money's finally right after all this time. So we had a code to buy tickets to see Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. And then, if you guys remember, it famously crashed. The second pre-sale crashed. I said, fuck this noise. I'm going to go on StubHub. And I looked on StubHub, and for some nosebleed seats that were facing the stage. I say that because later on, there were seats selling for this much, not facing the stage at all. I found two for $400 each. So
oh, my God.
Two for $800 out the door, I should say.
She should be arrested.
So I'm looking at Julia, you know, just white girl, sad eyes.
All to pay to see a girl sing off key.
So I look at her and I was like, we're never going again. I'm going to buy these tickets. We got the money. We're never going again to see her. This is too much money. But
she's a crook.
I've loved Taylor Swift for so long, and I haven't seen it with her. So I was like, let's just do it. $800.
Peddler of mediocrity.
So about a month before, the tickets were in August. So about June. We're up with her family. We're in Lake Tahoe, the cabin. And I was like, I wonder how much I can get for our tickets if I looked right now. I started looking around StubHub, and I told Julia, I bet you I can get $2,400 for these two tickets. And she's like, if you get 24, she's like, sell them. John, I think I could have got 3 because I sold them for 24 and they were gone in 10 minutes.
What?
10 minutes.
What the?
Yes.
Why is this woman so popular? What is wrong with our world?
I mean, I think she writes great pop songs in the vein of, I think she's like one of the greatest.
I think she's one of the horsemen of the apocalypse who's heralding in the end of times.
I mean, some might argue that. I don't want to completely. I do think at this point, because as we've watched it grow, the phenomenon, we watch these people and pay thousands of dollars to go see her like that. I'm starting to get a real bad taste in my mouth. Very anti-Christy. And yes. You know, anybody, I think she's making $1 billion off this one tour. She's a billionaire. And whenever you cross into that threshold, it's like, oh, this person's you and me are comedians. We're in the entertainment industry. We know that the only way to make it in this thing generally is to just be a monster. And so to be Taylor Swift, to be selling out these stadiums, inside of her must lay this evil that is so deep.
She grew up rich, though, so she was born into the darkness.
Yeah. I'm born into the darkness.
Remember in that terrible movie Constantine? He was like, fire! I was born of this! You know?
But anyways, we had a great time at the movie.
That's insane. Yeah. Like, just watching that antichrist-ing.
3 hours, and it was very full. It wasn't packed like some of these, but then I really think we went to City Walk. There's kids running around. I think there were kids hopping from theater to theater and just singing in the aisles and like shaking their bracelets.
Getting indoctrinated.
Yes, a woman behind us who looked attractive and looked to be 35 or something. So not a kid. She got up like near the end, like 5 songs left, and just was standing behind us and dancing and at the movie theater. And but I mean, I really did like it. I am a big Taylor Swift fan, and even the Midnight's portion of that. One thing about Taylor Swift, I will say, is that she's one of the few artists that if she puts out a new album, she does most of that new album at the tour, and that she brings those songs to life in a way that you didn't appreciate before. Which I think very few artists do that.
I'm just so depressed.
What are you so depressed?
Just that like I think she deserves definitely like a career and credit for her hard work and all that shit. But Jesus Christ, people remember when it was like Michael Jackson, a dancing pedophile who was uber talented that people fell like they fainted.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What? Remember when it was Prince, when people's pussies were exploding?
Yeah.
And when he would be like,
that's
whatever.
Michael Jackson.
Whatever, but you know, he would go high.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
What about those talent? Like, there's not that level of talent except for Beyonce.
Yeah. No, I think she writes great songs. I think she taps into I mean, yeah, if we're talking about it, there's got to be some kind of like, I do feel like it's
I just have never connected to her
songs.
songs.
Yeah, no,
I can't.
I have. She's a great songwriter, but there is something that's longing. I think it's almost like a throwback in a lot of ways, where all this woman cares about is like a romantic relationship. I think maybe women take comfort in that. I mean, there might be some kind of throwback element, and then she does enough girl boss stuff where they could be like, "Oh, it's fine, we're feminists."
Yeah, it just seems like corporate soulless feminism is really what it seems like. It just seems like the dead-eyed smile of a female CEO who's fired more women than you would ever know. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, she is that, but
yeah, maybe that's such a judgment. I don't know what it is. Like, I cannot get into it.
You know, she's like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler now. I saw they're doing a live show. At this point, you don't really want to go see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, right?
No,
yeah,
because they're like doing like bad sitcoms and like woodcutting shit on NBC.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like they're
whatever.
so sold out to the machine.
Yeah.
That.
But selling out's not a thing anymore in the culture. Like, it's a thing for us.
Yeah.
But that's very 90s and
I know.
before.
Yeah. No,
there's no such thing as that anymore.
Absolutely, but we know that is what is happening.
Right.
Is that they are just straight sold out to the machine. So at the very least, it's one thing to participate in all that stuff. And like I said, I don't behoove anyone making a living. My God, that's, you know, there's like barely anything left. So, scrape by with whatever you can. But we know that if you're going to at least participate, it's one thing to be like, oh, this is great, because there's nothing great left.
Should we sell our souls? We should. Like, why don't we get in on this?
I would sell out in an instant. I'm not even kidding you. I would sell out as much as I possibly could.
What would be your ideal sellout situation if you had to pick? Right?
Ideal, like...
You sell your values for money.
I truly do think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think about it as harshly as I used to, but I do always think about Saturday Night Live.
That's not even that bad of a sellout. I was thinking of way worse. I was thinking of like your own show on Fox.
Fox what? News?
Yeah. The Border Hour. And it's all about how you hate wetbacks.
Well, see, that's the thing is I couldn't sell out. I would have to be, You
have to be bought.
No. I would have to
No one's buying what you're selling.
Yeah. I would have to like believe the thing I'm saying. So there is, I think for me, there is a thing where you just give in to, like a Tim Dillon, like those kind of comedians.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're just completely cynical.
And nihilistic.
And say, hey, it doesn't matter. Nothing I do matters. Which may be true.
Oh, for sure. And one thing I mean, he's very, very funny.
Yeah.
But severely mentally ill. But also, he's openly said, like, I want to be rich. And he is rich now. He's a very successful touring comic.
Yeah.
And I hang out with these rich people. And now when you watch, like, especially his recent episode of the podcast, you see, oh, there's some loyalty to these rich people that he's hanging out with.
Of course.
Which is like, but he's been open about that. He's been cynical and nihilistic about it from the moment, and very open of just, I am selling out at first chance I get.
Yes. And I don't possess that ability.
Right, but also I would like to point this out.
Yeah.
That's not an option for either of us.
I think if we had the kind of personality, like if we were it is mentally ill or
severe
sociopaths, if we could. I mean, obviously, I'm some kind of. I've got some kind of narcissism thing going on. From
no, but you may have narcissistic traits, but you don't have clinical narcissism, because clinical narcissists are some of the most dangerous people in the world.
Yes.
Like, that's a Trump type person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
you just need attention for something to fill a hole inside of you that wasn't filled.
I don't need that much money. You know what I mean? Like Taylor Swift's
making
attention,
though.
No. I know. I for sure don't need that kind of attention. I really don't need that kind.
But
I don't give
some. You need some, and it needs to be on your terms.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I work at a dive bar in Covina still.
Right.
Yeah. So because I do like to say no to things that makes me laugh. But yeah, I don't need that much more money than I have right now. Double.
I'm gonna be honest. I need a lot more money than what I have right now.
Yeah. Well, right now you don't have a job, so you don't have anything.
Yeah, but I need a home. I need a home, and so that is how I can be.
So you can walk around naked in that thing?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That is, or a commune.
Yeah.
You know, but I need either a home or a commune or a compound, and I need it completely paid off.
Yeah.
And then I truly think I will be happy, and if I'm not, I'll kill myself.
I wouldn't mind a home, especially now with the daughter coming. I definitely wouldn't mind a home. I like to have people over. It'd be great to entertain like that.
Of course, yeah. And a home that you're not chained to that incredibly high mortgage, like an affordable one.
Yeah.
Some place that you can host swinger parties, you know, without worrying, oh my God, am I going to make mortgage this month?
I wish my wife was into swinging more.
Julia.
If we had a home, I would host parties.
You guys have a pineapple out front?
She just said, folks, you heard that. If we had a home, she would host swinger parties. Why would that be different for you?
She said parties.
Because it's a vibe thing. Sex parties have terrible vibes.
Oh, okay.
I want a cool swinging. I want to swing in hip cats.
All right, yeah.
She wants to swing in the 60s is what.
Well, you know, because we have gone to swing parties and they are notoriously, it is kind of like gross.
Yeah.
And the people are not cool,
Right.
like that kind of stuff. It's
Right.
literally, but I'm sure there are these private ones that I guess, you know, now that we're talking and we're talking about money and that kind of stuff. Yes, absolutely. This is what I would want: a home, and I would want my own apartment so that I could bring other women back there to that apartment.
Your gumas?
Yeah, my gumas. I would want my own apartment so that I could bring them back there, and that would be fun. A swinging home. Julia said that if I could, I said, can we? Well, I was like, we don't need to have another kid, but I should have a girlfriend, and she can have a kid with me too, and she should live with us.
That's a terrible idea. Do not have a kid with someone other than Julia. That's a terrible idea. Do not do it.
That's the only thing that drives me monetarily, is to be able to have kids with different women.
So you've heard it here first, folks. Steve is severely mentally ill.
Why?
Because that's crazy.
Why?
Because, listen, the amount of energy you're going to have to dedicate to all these baby mamas.
Yeah.
And all these kids that are not under one home. Because remember,
they're going to live. That's the whole point. She's going to live with us. In one home.
I hate this.
Folks, notice that he hasn't been able to articulate a good reason why that should be.
You want to know why? Because it's one of those things where, and I feel like a lot of listeners will get me on this, you can't really articulate.
They're going to agree with
yes,
you
yes,
about
they are.
monogamy? Wow.
No, not monogamy. Having kids with all these different people intentionally. I don't care if you're fucking other people. That's the bad idea, is having the kids with all these different people.
What's the name of that woman who has the live-in boyfriend?
It's just not a good idea.
Tilda Swinton.
What does Tilda Swinton do?
Her boyfriend lives with her family.
Her boyfriend lives with her family. Wait a minute. So does she have a
husband? She's married with a family.
Yes.
And her boyfriend lives with them.
Here's the thing: when you're Tilda Swinton, you're paying the bills. You're the one who bought that castle in Scotland.
I don't know if you've heard.
Also,
but people have called me the Tilda Swinton of the East Side comedy scene.
They've called
in
you
LA.
a literal walking insect, a bug, a cicada,
gender fluid.
Oh, she's such a, when she calls herself queer because she's like alt, it's like, no, you're just a weirdo, dude.
She might eat pussy though.
No, she doesn't. She's like, I like men. I'm a straight woman, but I'm like aesthetically queer. I'm like, no, you're just a weird, angular, androgynous woman.
Yes.
It's fine. People love to make queer mean more than it does.
It does mean more than it does.
It does not mean that I dress cool and like I look weird. It doesn't mean that. That's what it does not mean. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there's people who don't get that there needs to be some type of like LGBTQI identity to be queer.
Yeah.
Where some people are like, you know, I sometimes like to, you know, dye my hair and wear a septum and, you know, go to a sex party and then you're queer, and it's like, you're not. You're just
okay. You
know.
Just like to you queer. All that means is you like to suck on the body parts of the same gender as you are.
No. It can mean gay, bisexual, trans, non-binary, gender fluid, intersex, asexual, any kind of non-heteronormative. All of that is queer.
Forgive me. Some of the last few things you said are the things that you kind of implied too.
What do you mean?
Colored hair?
What? What are you talking about?
That's basically non-binary.
All the theys and the thems are boiling right now. No, but you have to be one of those people to be queer.
Yes.
Some people, I think, they think it's a stylistic thing. Like it's a but see, that's natural in America because we're all about consumerism. So people get that conflated, and it's like, no, it's not that at all.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
How much time do we have left?
10 minutes.
Oh, so we're at.
Britain.
13 minutes.
We still got Brittany.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if we wanted to take a break, but I don't know if y'all have heard, but Britney Spears is dropping a book, and a couple of the huge bombshells have come out already.
Tell me about it.
Okay, one.
I'm so excited.
She had an abortion with Justin Timberlake.
Thank God. Yes.
Truly, that would have been abhorrent.
Yeah. We don't need a Jamie Lynn Timberlake.
Yeah, definitely that would have been. But most importantly, your boy Justin Timberlake has a little dick.
And Steve is celebrating that he's more hung than JT.
Yeah, we don't know if I'm more hung than him.
Well, what did you say your dick was?
5.5 inches.
So if that's the average and he has a small dick, he's
Yeah.
probably less hung. Especially if it's notable. If it's notable, it's probably smaller than that.
Where's the quote? Do you have the quote?
Yeah,
Julia
listen to
has it
this
pulled
quote.
up here.
It's smaller than that.
The quote is, "Okay, I'm ready. Put it in."
Oh, I'm going to just repeat this as Julia's saying it. So this is out of the book. So she's saying this to Justin Timberlake.
I love this.
Okay, I'm ready. Put it in.
I said, and he replied, "It's already in."
He replies, "It's already in." And then get this.
My world collapsed.
My world collapsed.
Look, that can be
This
crushing.
is the first time she's getting fucked.
Yes. And she wanted to get that pussy stretched.
Yes.
But he didn't have enough dickage to stretch.
Yeah.
You know, it just wasn't the pussy for him.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't make them much,
Well, we don't know. Some pussies are
I don't
bigger.
think Britney has a gaping
No,
pussy.
I don't.
Yeah,
especially not then.
Yeah.
No, he has a small dick.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying he needs someone who likes a small dick.
Yes.
And that's not Britney Spears.
She's
like
a bit. You know what I do?
You know what? She deserves it. You go, Britney. You get a big ass dick.
When a woman is just like, I like a big dick, because
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh, we're not for each other.
Yeah.
Like on the apps, like on Field and stuff like that, it'll say like size queen, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's not me. And you just, oh, we're not meant for each other.
No, everyone has a different preference. That's the thing. People always get hung up on dick size. Dick size matters. Size matters.
Yes.
But what people forget is it matters differently to different people.
You've always, whenever you speak about dicks, you're very generous. You seem to almost like a little dick, or you're like, this is fine.
It always depends on the vibe.
Yeah.
See, if I'm topping,
Yeah.
I don't care what size your dick is. However, I do like a handsome bottom with a little dick, especially if they're like beefier or whatever. I love that.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting topped, I do prefer average or big, but not too big. I've said this. I think I said this on episode 1. I've been hit up by guys that have 10-inch cocks, and they
Yeah.
open with their big, huge 10-inch cock. I'll block them immediately because it's too big, and I've been sent to the urgent care before, and I don't want to do that.
Oh my God.
Yes. And it took me 3 months to recover back when I was 25. So I don't want to do that again. However, some dicks, look, I got a big ass. So it's like some dicks are just not going to get in there.
Yeah.
They're too small.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, I'm just thinking of like Justin. You know, he probably was wearing this is when he had the wet curls, those tight wet curls.
And doing it in falsetto. Ooh, girl.
So they had an abortion. So do you think the first time he was wearing a condom?
No, of course not.
I just think they're also like, they're of a time where wearing a condom was a big deal.
For sure, but they were rich. And also they grew up in the mouse, the hands of the mouse. You know?
God, what a heartbreak to fucking slide into your girl. They'd been dating for a while. Britney Spears at that point. Forgive me if she was underage at this point. I hope not, because I don't mean to talk about an underage person that way. But just sliding in. And she goes, put it in.
Did you ever hear that leaked audio from her in Brazil? Well, you remember she used to wear in the 2000s those really low-cut jeans that were like right above her pussy?
Yeah.
So she was dancing and she was doing all the like dance moves and then the number ends and she has to go and do a quick change and she says on the mic, because they hadn't turned off her mic yet, hurry up y'all, my fucking pussy's hanging out. Which I absolutely loved. But you know it has to be small for her to say, is it in? That's small.
Or put it in.
Yikes.
She said put it in.
And he's like, it's in, it's deep in you.
And then if I couldn't love Britney anymore, I love that in the book it says, after he goes, it's already in, and she says, my world collapsed.
Yes.
That she was going to have to, she was so in love with this guy.
Yeah.
That she was going to have to put up with this little dick for her whole life. That's what she was thinking.
And also because they were both virgins at the time.
Yeah.
He's not good at sex.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Like, had he been a more experienced little dick guy, he probably would have been able to do other stuff to please her, but he didn't know what the fuck.
I also think it's interesting. I haven't read the book. This is just what was it is that her world collapsed if they were in fact virgins together.
Yeah.
What was she think? Because I've had sex with girls that are virgins, and I don't think it was mostly when I was younger. I don't think they were expecting to have an incredible sex life, right off the bat. You get what I'm saying?
No, but she's Britney Spears, and this is
but even back then, it was still, she never had sex. She's still 18, hopefully 18, and
I don't think you comprehend. She knew back then. She's Britney Spears.
Yeah.
How hot she was.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still a hot woman, but back then in her prime, she's fucking Britney Spears.
But she's in love with Justin Timberlake, who she thinks is a dreamboat. And also, here's the thing. She had to have sucked his dick before. I guess we got to read the book.
No, probably not. She's Britney Spears. She's probably like, I don't suck no dick.
Yeah, but a hand job? I'm sorry. She's in love. They're in love in a relationship. Are we okay? All right.
I don't know, but I do know that whether this is true or not, Justin deserves this for ripping off Janet Jackson's top in the nipple gate, and then totally escaping from it.
Dude, this also bums me out. I feel bad for Jessica Biel because she's all woman too.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Some women don't mind, and I'm not gonna lie and say it's most women. It's not.
Yeah.
But some women do not mind a small dick.
Yeah.
So. Maybe that's her.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just cheats on him.
Yeah, or they have an arrangement.
For sure, Yeah.
God, poor Jessica Biel.
It's not... I don't think we need to feel bad for a very wealthy woman.
Rich Jessica Biel.
Yeah, she's
Jessica
rich
Biel.
as hell. And beautiful.
Yeah.
And she could literally get a super hung male escort, and Justin would never know. Just to come to her hotel room when she's flying all over the world. She's taking care of herself. You know? But also maybe she has a really small, narrow pussy.
Let me take this opportunity to ask my wife, have you ever had a very big dick, Julia?
Yes.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
You didn't like it?
No.
How big was this dick, Julia?
Too big. No, I don't know. I don't know,
Okay.
lengthwise.
Yeah, you didn't pull out the measuring tape.
Right.
Well, 'cause I feel like I didn't think it was that big until I was like, oh, no.
Are we
Then you were
talking-
taking it.
Yeah, and then I was like...
Are we talking about Pringles can?
I don't know. I don't remember visually. That's what
Got
I
it.
just remember afterwards being like, no big deal.
Yeah. No, same. I mean, obviously I don't have a pussy, but I have a bussy, and there have been dicks. It's just we've been trying for 45 minutes. It's not going to go in. It's not happening. I've been doing all the drugs, injecting everything into me. Nothing's happening. It's not happening. Yeah. I'm going home. This is not fun anymore,
I mean, I've sucked
one. I'm thinking of one very big dick, but I don't even think he tried to fuck me. I don't think I'm good at sucking dick at all. It obviously takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But
I like normal big, like classic big.
like a nice 7.5.
The 7 and 8 inch ranges
Yeah.
are normal big. Anything above that's too big for me.
No freaks.
No freaks.
No freaks.
No freaks in the house. Now, I do follow this guy on my burner Twitter who has a micro penis. He's so handsome. He has this little micro penis. He's straight.
Yeah.
He's straight, and he's like coming out and doing his whole like micro penis porn.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's just a micro penis porn?
Yeah, but it's just him, a straight guy.
And he jacks off?
Yeah, and he's jacking off to like women, like porn. So he just shows him, and it's so small. I don't think I've ever seen something like that.
But it's hard when he's doing it?
Yeah.
Just a little.
It's yeah, exactly. Mighty Mouse. Yeah. And it's actually kind of a really good looking
Wait
dick.
till I get inside of you.
Oh, he can't. He's fully into like he's like, this would never reach you. Like he's fully into that.
He's into that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess at that point,
what do you do?
Lean into that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I'm sure girls are still sucking him off, and that feels great.
I don't know if girls are sucking him off. It's all him jacking off.
Well,
I
yeah,
feel
for
it's
the
probably
because of pervs like you. He's
Oh,
doing it for the audience.
Almost all of the people are gay men who follow him.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're more into him. Like, it's all gay tops who are like, I would destroy your ass and all. Because they love that he's so, like, submissive.
Yeah.
You know? But he's straight.
Yeah.
See, if he was gay, he'd have a lot more options. You know? So.
See, you learn something new with us every day, huh?
Yeah.
Every week.
Justin Timberlake has a micro dick. Britney Spears, her world collapsed in the early 2000s because of it. We don't talk about how much trauma micro penises cause women. I'm just kidding.
Women do complain. I don't know. You know, it's just I've been around this enough. They don't care. It doesn't matter mostly.
No, but so do guys. Guys will complain about types of pussies. Guys will complain about breasts.
I've never heard
like
a guy
that.
complain about. I've really never heard guys complain about pussy.
I've heard it. But maybe they were gay. They were like, it was like, there was like a hole. And I was like, ew.
It's so juicy.
It was like, and there were folds. And I was like, girl, no.
Hey, thank you guys so much for listening to Horn Dogs. Make sure you subscribe at Spotify and iTunes and YouTube. Okay, we need to get some subscribers. Spread the word.
Yes.
If there are any other, freaky Latinos that you know, you fucking freaks. We're out here.
If you know any big dick people, but not too big, or we will kick you out.
7 inchers.
8 to 8 inches.
Tops.
No, to 8 inches the tops. Don't listen to him.
Find me at Big Hern on Twitter, Hernie on Instagram, and then I guess we're on. Have we created an Instagram? We do, right? Mm-hmm. What's it called?
I'm trying to pull it up.
That's all right. Well, Horn Dogs podcast, yeah. And then, thank you. John, where can we find you?
At Jonathan Serta Rao on Instagram. Follow me.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.